Good morning, sir.
Yeah, very good morning. So can you have your profile, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Ajay, introduce yourself.
Okay. Good morning, sir. My name is Ajay. I come from Varangal. I completed my graduation in Balaji Institute of Technology and Science in a stream of Computer Science and Engineering, and also completed my intermediate in Vagdevi Junior College in Hanmakonda, and also had done my schooling in Francis Convent High School in Varangal itself, and also completed my training at Grow Place. I have taken 1 month of training in Grow Place. It is a core employability skills, how to behave in a software company, and all this, how to speak in English. Those all the things are give me training in that Grow Place. Then after that, I came to know that the placement was not so good, so I came to NewZen Infotech and training on Java. And coming to my family consists of four along with me. My father was a farmer and my mother is a homemaker, and I'm looking for the jobs which are relevant to my skills and improve my knowledge on software field. Uh, my hobbies are gardening, and my short-term goal is to become a software engineer, and long-term goal is to be a good position in the software company. And thank you for giving these opportunities.
Okay, so you have knowledge on Java.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So tell me about the exception concept. What is meant by exception?
When unwanted and event that disturbs the normal flow execution of a program is called as an exception. For example, sleeping exception, type punched exception, file not found exception.
So what are the memory areas? Various memory areas present inside the JVM.
Various method areas are present in JVM are five types. There are method area, heap area, stack area, PC registers, and native method stacks. First one, every method area is a JVM will be created method area, and inside the method area, class level binary data and static variables are stored inside the method area. And also it is also accessible, multiple threads are also accessible in method area. Next one is heap area. For every heap area, JVM will also is available for that heap area. So in heap area, objects and corresponding variables are stored inside the heap area. Multiple threads are also accessible in heap area, so the data whatever the stored inside the heap area is not thread safe. The next one is stack. For every for every thread, JVM will create a separate stack at the time of thread creation. So each and every method is called inside the stack and performed that thread. After calling each and every method inside the uh, stack are removed. So after removing all the threads inside the heap stack area, that JVM will terminate or delete that stack by that will care by the JVM. Then every entry in the stack is called as stack frame. Again, stack frame consists of three types: local variable, operand data, frame data, all the three types of stack frame. Then next one is PC registers. For every thread, JVM will create a separate PC registers at the time of thread creation. And in PC registers, uh, address, it consists of address of current, it contains address of that PC registers. The next one, native method stacks. For every thread, JVM will create a separate native stacks. All the threads which are inside the native stacks are called, and corresponding threads are stored, which are stored inside the native method stacks. These are the five types of method areas present in JVM.
Yeah. Okay. Good Ajay. So explain about the auto boxing and atom boxing concept.
Okay.
Yeah.
Auto boxing, conversion of a primitive type to the wrapper object is called as an uh, auto boxing by the compiler. The next one is auto unboxing. Automatic conversion of wrapper objects to the primitive type is called as an auto unboxing.
Okay. So explain about the garbage collector.
If the object is not having any reference variable, then that object is eligible for the garbage collector. In garbage collector, there are four ways which are eligible for garbage collector: are nullifying the reference variable, object is created inside the method, and reassigning the variable, reassigning the reference variable, and isolate of isolation. These are the four ways which are eligible for garbage collector.
Okay, good. So, what are the difference between finally, and finalize?
Okay.
So finally black, okay, so final variable is there, and the finally black is there, and the finalize method is there. So what are the major differences?
So final is a keyword which is access modifier. It is accessible for classes, variables, and methods. If a class is declared as final, we cannot child class creation is not possible. If a method is declared as final, we cannot override that method. If a variable is declared as a final, we cannot reassign that variable. But why? Because that variables are constant. That means we are final. If we write once, it is a constant, so we cannot change the value. Next one, finally, it is a try block. It is a block which is automatically executes that try catch blocks automatically. Then which the main intention of finally block is to raise the exception and handle that exceptions. The next one is finalize. It is a method which is accessible by garbage collector before terminating that any object and to clean up the code.
Okay, to clean up the code in finally black or finalize method.
Finalize method.
Finalize method. Okay. So what are the difference between partially checked exception and purely checked exceptions?
Partially checked exceptions are the exceptions which are not checked by its child classes are called as partially checked exceptions. For example, exceptions. Then purely checked or fully checked exceptions are exceptions which are checked all its child classes are called as partial fully checked exceptions. Example, IO exceptions.
Okay. Okay. So what are the difference between yield, join, and sleep state?
Yield method is a class to pass the current execution of a thread and giving chance for the remaining threads who are having same priority is yield method. Then join method is to wait until to complete some other thread. That means waiting for particular amount of time to complete some other thread is called join method. Then sleep method is it is a thread which is not to perform any object for some particular amount of time is called as sleep method. These are the differences between yield, join, and thread.
Okay.
Sleep.
So what are the difference between string and string buffer?
Okay, string is immutable and string builder is mutable. Where if we in string we cannot change an object once we create an object in string, whereas in string builder we can change the object once we create an object. String is a slower than string builder. Why? Because that each and every time we have to create a new instance classes and for that object, whereas in string builder is faster than string. Why? Because it only once we can create the new instance of classes. By using append keywords we can change the object in string builder, whereas in string we cannot use like keywords like append. If we wanted we want to change that a string like you by using concatenation we can change that string values.
Okay. So in threads concept, synchronized method is there and synchronized block is there. What are the difference between synchronized block and synchronized method?
Okay,
Yeah.
synchronized is a modifier which is accessible for methods and blocks, and if yes, not for variables and classes. If a synchronized keyword or synchronized is applicable for methods and blocks, if any of the class is declared as method or block, it is accessible and execute at only one time. The main advantage of synchronized keyword is data inconsistency in the problem. The main disadvantage of synchronized keyword is writing time of a thread and affecting the system performance. Whereas synchronized block, if a few lines of code is required synchronized block, then that is not required for that method, for that entire method. Only that few lines of code can be executed with the synchronized block. The main advantage of synchronized block versus synchronized method is only waiting time of the thread and performance of the system.
Okay. So main advantage of synchronized block is and
Waiting time of a thread and performance of the system
will be improved or
will be improved.
yeah. Okay. So in interface class, okay. So interfaces. What is the difference between interface and the abstract class? Interfaces and abstract class.
Interface
Yeah.
separately. If we talk about interfaces, Then if you don't know any implementation, only just requirement, then we should go for interfaces. Whereas abstract classes, if we are not having any complete information or partial implementation, then we should go for abstract classes. In abstract interfaces, methods are declared as public, static, whether we are declared or not. Whereas in abstract class, it is not required to have public, static, and whether we are declaring or not.
Okay. So in abstract class and abstract method are there. Okay. So what are the difference between abstract class and abstract method?
If any class is declared as abstract class or abstract method, then that class compulsory must and should be abstract class. Otherwise, compiler will get an error. Why? Because if a class is declared as method, then that class compulsory must and should be abstract class. Then only that will compile, and we cannot create an object for that classes. If any method or class is not declared as abstract, then still we can write an abstract class, and we can use that. We can have number of abstract methods in that class.
Okay. So we can write the abstract method. The semicolon is mandatory or not?
Abstract, it is a method, so if we write any method, then semicolon is not needed to have.
Not needed to mandatory. Okay. Okay. So what is the minimum and maximum and normal priority of a thread?
Thread minimum priority is 1, thread maximum priority is 10, then normal priority is 5.
Okay. So what is the lowest and highest priority of a thread?
In thread concept, there is no low and high priority we are using. There is no concept of low and high priority. We only using minimum and maximum priorities in threads.
Okay, good. So what are the difference between notify and notifier? In the threads concept, notify and notify two concepts are there. What are the major differences?
We can use notify to give notification for the threads which are waiting. If multiple threads are waiting, only one thread we can give the notification. Then further threads will be takes place by the JVM. Notify all to give notification for the multiple threads at a time, but only one by one will be executed. Why? Because threads needs lock, so that lock need only one by one execution. So only one thread will be executed in notify all. Notify all to give notification for the multiple threads, and notify to give only one particular thread give notify.
Okay, good. Okay, exactly perfect answer. I'm expecting. So what is about the number format exception? Tell me about the number format exception.
It is a child class exception, and it is a unchecked exception raised explicitly or by the API developer, or by the explicit developer explicitly given by the programmer. The main intention of number format exception is converting string type to the number type. So if that exception is occurred, if we not give correct format in that way, so the number format exception will occur. Suppose if int I is equal to integer dot face int of, within the inverted commas, if you give 10, it is a valid statement. Otherwise, if you give in that 10 statement, if you write as a string, then that runtime error it occurs, telling that it is a number format exception.
Okay, good. So Ajay, you have to write one program. So my requirement is write a Java program to print odd and even number position in a string. Okay, so I want to print the odd index and the even index. So you have passing one string. Okay, so in that string, so odd and even positions are there. Okay, print the odd and numbers and the even numbers of a string index positions. Okay,
Yes.
that is my requirement.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, here string s is equal to Ajay. First it will take the for loop for I is equal to 0, I less than s dot length, and I is equal to I plus 2. For suppose in Ajay, so int I is equal to 0, so I value is start from 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So I value is 0, then I is less than s dot length is 4, and i's value is 0, which is 0 less than or 4, which condition satisfies. Then I will be incremented after printing the I value. First even index position of character at I value is suppose 0 value is a will be printed first. Then after condition will be incremented, I is equal to I plus 2, I is equal to I plus 2, I value is 2, so 2 is less than 4, condition satisfies. Then what is the value of 2 is a, so again a will be printed. So even index positions are capital A and small a. Then next it will goes to odd even index positions. If int I is equal to 1, so j value is equal to 1, then condition it will checks 1 is less than or equal to 4, condition satisfies. Then I will be incremented after printing the index of I. Then next I will be incremented, I value is equal to I is equal to I plus 2, so I value is 1 plus 2, so 3, I value is 3, which is 3 less than or equal to 4, then condition satisfies. Then character of I at 3 value is y, so here j and y will be printed. This is the odd even index position.